Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knightmare Talks. I'm Aaron.
I'm Chase.
And we have another interesting episode for you guys tonight. We're gonna do we're gonna talk about remakes of horror movies.
Yeah.
So Hollywood tends to do that a lot nowadays. Maybe they've just run out of ideas or whatever, but they just tend to try to remake movies that are older or whatever, or maybe outdated. So we got a couple of them that we're going to spotlight to talk about. Just some ones that we singled out that I feel like they could be better or they could be worse. I'm kind of curious to see what your opinion is on that. So,
Facts.
Anyways, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I personally...
You're going to say the original, huh?
No.
Actually, really?
The exact opposite. Because as we talked about in a previous episode, I feel like I don't understand why so many people were so scared and creeped out by the original It. I thought it was a very good movie. Don't get me wrong. It was a very good movie. It was very entertaining. As I pointed out before, I like how half of the movie was them as kids, and then it transitioned into them as adults dealing with the same thing that scared them as kids. But I just did not feel like it was scary at all. Creepy. Some parts were kind of creepy. If you looked at it as, once again, if you're a kid and you're watching that movie, then yeah, it could possibly be scary. But I still don't think it's scary. I would not consider it a scary movie. But with the remake, even though they Hollywooded it up and it's all about CGI and stuff like that, at least it was scarier.
Yeah.
It had jump scares and stuff too. So what's your opinion on that?
So, as someone who was scared of clowns in his younger years, I had watched the original, God, I don't even know, I was super young, like 10, 11, 12 maybe, super young. But I was super scared of clowns. So the clown aspect of it, I was already scared. So jump scares and everything like that to go along with just having a clown, terrifying. So for me, I have to go with the original because that's at what point like I was actually scared of clowns. Because once the actual new remake came out, I was kind of over that whole phobia of clowns.
Yeah, I think I like the first one's story better.
Yeah.
But entertainment wise, I think the remakes were better for me. Like I just
Obviously,
felt like
yep.
I was a little more on the edge of your seat, kind of, or whatever.
Yeah.
I definitely thought Pennywise was definitely creepier in the remake than he was in the original. But at the same time, I understand.
I could see that.
It was a different time, dude.
It was.
It was a different time.
Yeah. It was a very brutal movie. Like, it in general is a very, very brutal movie.
Yeah. Stephen King always has a weird... His movies are always kind of weird in the sense that, like, they could be kind of controversial in a sense. I mean, you're talking about a little boy who gets his arm ripped off by reaching down into a drainage hole.
He gets paid a lot of money to be a weirdo, though.
Yeah. I wonder how many movies Hollywood turns down that he, like, presents and is like, hey, I got an idea for a movie, and they're just like, bro, that's freaking weird.
I'd be curious to hear some of the ideas he's come up with where they're like, nah, man, we can't do that.
Yeah, because if you remember in the book, did you ever read the books?
No, I don't read.
That's true. You hate reading. No, in the book, remember the scene towards the end of the movie where they're getting ready to go back in as kids.
Yeah,
they're gonna go into the water treatment plant or whatever, into the sewers. In the book, the girl, I can't remember what her name was, but in the book, she actually sleeps with all those boys before they go in, and it's kind of like a rite of passage for them to become men. So she actually has sex with each one of the kids or each one of those boys. And of course they had to take that out for the movie because that's just super controversial.
Yeah, that wouldn't go well.
Yeah, so anyways.
Yeah, dude, that is crazy. I think I remember you saying that before. I forgot about it till just now.
I didn't believe it when people told me that, and then I went back and looked in the book, and I was like, holy crap, that's really nuts. Did. Like, Stephen King really did write that in the book. But once again, back in, when that movie came out or when he wrote that book, maybe it wasn't as controversial. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that's still controversial, but when you put it in a book, it's, it's a little less frowned upon because it's just words on a paper.
It's true. All right, so, oh man, I love this next one. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, once again, the original is an icon.
Yep.
And it really, really, really did raise the bar for horror movies. I love how they had literally hardly any money budget for that movie, and the fact that they were able to make such a great movie and just kept it so basic, dude. They really did. That movie's so basic. It was literally
You didn't. I mean, if you look at the movie and the plot in general, you didn't need much for it anyway.
no.
Like you don't need much to make that work.
Yeah, I mean, you had the gas station.
Yep.
And then you had the farmhouse, and then you had the old rundown house that they went to visit or whatever.
Right. Now it's yeah, obviously the original is a classic, but I'm curious to see where you stand on this one.
I'm kind of the same, dude. I like the remake.
Is it because it's newer?
Jessica Biel.
Is the newer? Oh, is that okay?
Tight
All
T-shirt, right. Jessica Biel. No, that's. I mean, I mean, obviously the first is just. Once again, it's an icon. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
But the remake, I felt like, was just so much more entertaining.
I can see that. Yeah.
Let's just be honest, dude. The beginning of the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a sleeper, dude. That first, until they pick up the hitchhiker, you're just kind of like, oh, it was just boring. The dude in the wheelchair was annoying. But once they pick up the hitchhiker chick,
Yeah,
or the hitchhiker
the story
dude,
picks up though. I can see. I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying. I can see it either way though.
yeah.
That's a tough one because I don't know that I can choose either way on that one.
And I never really understood, like, the dude was in a wheelchair. What did he think he was going to do? Like,
Yeah.
they're trying to, the one chick is trying to push him through the freaking cornfields or the fields and in a wheelchair and trying to outrun a dude, Leatherface, with a freaking chainsaw. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you guys really think you were going to outrun him? Plus, the dude was not, like, a small guy.
No,
like,
yeah.
He was a pretty heavy guy.
But, like, isn't there other spinoffs on Netflix, too? Like, you have the other versions that Netflix has put out, too.
Yeah, they have that new...
Texas Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Which, those are good. I don't even remember the one I watched. The one where they were in the town that I was telling you about, the abandoned town, where all those teenagers or whatever, college kids go. That one was crazy. I actually really liked it. That was really good.
I think it's just called Texas Chainsaw. Or
I couldn't remember if there was something else to it. But
there's so many of them, dude.
Yeah. But it was actually a good spinoff. Like, it was done well, and it kind of stayed true to the overall story of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just seemed like an additional movie or add-on. A continuation. There you go.
Continuation. Yeah. It was very well done. I was actually pleasantly surprised with that Netflix version. So if you guys haven't seen that, check that out.
It's worth it.
But like I said, we're kind of keeping it. There's got to be at least 6 or 7 Texas Chainsaw
There's a
Massacres.
lot, yeah.
I did think that Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 was good as well, with the girl that was a radio DJ or whatever.
Yes.
I thought that one was pretty good too. And actually that's Viggo Mortensen, the dude that plays Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. He was in that movie as one of the...
I don't know
Texas
how you know
Chainsaw
these names
Massacre
like
guys.
this. Like, you were so good at just popping out names like bam, bam, bam.
I just love movies, man.
I like movies, and I know certain key actors, but, like...
There's some names that I can't remember at all, but there are some names that just stick in my head. But yeah, he played a really good. He was the dude that was always scratching his head with the hanger and was like eating his flesh or whatever. Just a weird dude. But yeah, I thought the remake was damn good, man.
It's true.
Brockheimer, wasn't it? Jerry Brockheimer that remakes it, or no?
Wait, are you asking me a name question again? Because I've already told you how this works, man. Like, I'm not good at names. You were better at names than I am.
Oh my goodness, the dude who remade the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's not Brockheimer. Is it? I gotta look it up, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta look it up. I gotta get that right.
So big on the names, man.
I do.
All we got to do is acknowledge that it was
credit.
good. I mean, just by saying the name of the movie itself, it's already given credit to that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
But once again,
really, you don't have to. Props to the person that made it. There you go. Did it for you.
props to the. Yeah. Moving right along.
We're having technical difficulties.
Well, it's actually very late here right now. We're filming this episode very late at night.
Super late.
Because we're trying to put some content out for you guys. But
Yeah, you.
Jessica Biel was a little hottie in that movie. Yes, she was. Oh, okay. We were just talking about this one earlier today, too.
Uh-oh.
The Grudge.
Yeah.
Okay, so the original was called Ju-On, which was, once again, you hate reading, but it was an Asian subtitled movie.
So I never watched it.
Yep.
But therefore, obviously by default, which, I mean, maybe I have to go back and watch the original. The remake is the best one. Did you watch the original? Have you
I
actually
did.
seen- Oh, wow, dude. Wow.
Yeah, I did. Because, like I said, subtitle movies don't bother me. I do like foreign movies. I thought, well, yeah, I think The Grudge was Ju-On, and then The Grudge, and then they literally just remade it a couple months ago. They released the new, it's just called Grudge, which wasn't very good. I didn't like it.
Oh, I think I heard people talk about that one. I didn't watch that one. Not yet, at least.
It just, I don't know, it just didn't have the same feel to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't as good.
Yeah, I got you.
But I'm going to stick with the original Ju-On. I thought Ju-On was good. And then The Grudge was also very, very, very good. But I'm going to give props to the original on this one.
There was a lot of hype behind The Grudge when the remake came out. They had a whole, like, online little... I don't want to say game, but it was like an experience where you could play out or whatever, and eventually you got attacked by the girl or whatever. And that was really creepy. Like, it was terrifying because you had, like, the challenge was, like, to turn your volume up on your computer and play through it.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it was pretty freaky. But I remember being like, I have to see this movie now because this freaking thing was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it lived up to the hype. It was actually just as good as, like, the game portrayed it would be. So
Yeah, and she always made that, like...
Yep.
That was creepy, man.
Yeah.
And then when she came down the stairs or whatever, and she was, like, all distorted and stuff.
Dude, that movie was weird.
Yeah.
Super
weird. You should watch the original.
Now I need to. Yeah, I definitely need to.
Yeah. Once again, I'm a huge fan of Japanese horror. I love Japanese horror. I really think that they get it. They, like I said, they kind of keep it simple, but it is just so creepy.
What's that one you... I'm going off the topic a little bit. The movie that you introduced me to that was a Japanese film. It was a horror film, and it was subtitled. I was really upset we had to watch it because I had to read. But it was good. It was about a hotel. The guy was living in a hotel or something.
Oh, it's called Rigor Mortis.
Dude, that one was crazy. It was good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like, that was actually a really good movie. Anyway,
That's a good
to
one.
totally go off the... Because when you said that, I was like...
Yeah, you know, we can just go ahead and spotlight that one. Because that is a very lesser known movie. I guarantee a lot of you have never even heard of that. When I talk to coworkers and friends of mine, they've never heard of that movie.
It's a good movie.
But it's called Rigor Mortis, and like Chase was saying, it's about he was actually a movie star who moves into a lower income building that's actually occupied by retired monster-like hunters and vampire hunters and stuff like that, but it's also very, very haunted. It's a good movie. It's definitely a good movie. You guys should check it out.
It's crazy. And, I mean, as somebody that hates to read, as I've already previously said, really, really good movie. Pretty easy to follow. And a good story, actually, surprisingly.
What do you hate?
Having
What do you hate about subtitles movie? Do you feel like it's taking away from...
It completely does. So for me, it takes away from... I can see how the person feels within what they're saying, and I can see the expression on their face. But having to read it outside of, like, understanding what they're saying and hear it in their voice, I get... Like, you know, you have a better connection when you can understand what's being said as compared to I have to read it and then add the emotion behind the face or whatever expression they're giving. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
maybe that's too much in depth, but, like, I like to have that connection of, okay, I can understand where you're coming from and how you're saying it, so I know how you feel, or I get an idea of how you feel.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because I've tried to watch movies where they dub it in English, and it's just... I think that's even worse. I'd rather just read the subtitles than dubbing, because it's like you have like an American voice with like a tiny little Chinese man, and you have like a regular American voice.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, that doesn't fit at all.
No, it doesn't match.
But yeah, so once again, that movie's called Rigor Mortis. Once again, a little hidden gem that I came across one day by accident. I loved it. I used to love just going to DVD stores and just browsing, just looking through all the movies and be like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. Obviously, that was before all of these streaming websites like Netflix and Tubi and stuff like that. Now you just go on Tubi, and I think you can find Rigor Mortis on Tubi. I'm pretty sure I saw it on there. So if that's something that interests you guys should check that movie out. It's very good.
I would actually watch it again, even though I'd have to read to understand what's being said. But good movie.
Yeah, but I do feel like the Japanese do a good job with. They won't really put a lot of subtitle if there's a lot of action going on.
Yeah.
So because it definitely would take away from the movie if there's like a fight scene going on and then you're sitting here trying to read at the bottom. I feel like they do a really good job of subtitles when it's not such a big deal, when there's two people standing there talking to each other or whatever. But when the action starts, I feel like they do a good job of keeping it very minimal.
Yeah.
I will say
That's
that.
what you're saying. Yeah.
But I can also see where you're coming from, where you just don't like to read it. So
I think having an understanding of what the person says, you have a better connection with, and you have a more awareness of what's going on within the story.
right, for sure. And then
I don't know why that movie popped in my head. That was random. Random.
no, it's funny because I was actually just kind of thinking, we got away from the spotlight movies. And once again, the purpose of the Spotlight movie is to try to introduce you guys to something that you may or may not have seen or you forgot about, like you were saying. Because I know with our very first episode that we did was Troll Hunter, and almost every single person had never even heard of that movie. And then I remember I was just getting like all kinds of people were like, "Oh my God, thank you for introducing me to that movie. Thank you I'd never heard of that." And even if they had heard about it, they probably hadn't watched it because, once again, it sounds kind of silly. The concept sounds kind of silly, let's just be honest. But when you watch the movie, it's a freaking damn good movie, dude. So
it was goofy initially sounding. It was goofy sounding.
Yeah.
But the movie itself is great.
I said the same thing when my coworker told me about it. I'm like, wow, that sounds really dumb. That sounds like a really low budget like B movie. And I watched it, and I was just blown away. I was just like, how
It's so much better than you would think. Like, it's crazy how good it actually is.
Yeah.
It's better than I would have given it credit to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it in the first episode, too. Like, I hate to say sleeper, but kind of. Like, in a way it is. It's way better of a movie than people would think.
Mm-hmm. So once again, if you guys haven't seen that episode, we go into pretty good depth about that movie. But it does start out slow, and it is subtitled, so Chase, maybe...
Hate reading.
He doesn't like
I
to
like
read.
to read. Yep.
That's another good movie. If you guys haven't seen that, check out Troll Hunter for sure.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna touch on a classic right here, dude. You know what that is. Wow. So Halloween. I love the original.
Yeah.
I love the original, but I am also a big fan of Rob Zombie. Not all of his stuff, but a lot of his stuff. I like the gritty take that he brings. I do. And once again, I don't understand why so many people hate on Rob Zombie. I think that he tries to bring together the old school movie feel, right, with modern graphics. So he likes gory, he likes blood, he likes violence, he likes I guess you could say controversial,
And I mean, I don't know, and I guess I don't really know kind of his demographic for who likes and doesn't like Rob Zombie, but I feel like every horror film director nowadays, they're all pushing the limits on what's okay and what's not okay. Like, if we're being honest, like some of them stretch it, like we were just saying with Stephen King, like some of them stretch it kind of far and take it, to maybe that gray area where it's like, I don't know that was okay. I mean, back in the time when like House of a Thousand Corpses is always one that comes to mind, but like that to me, in a way, during that time, that was kind of pushing some of the boundaries for a lot of things where people would be like,
House of a
not
Thousand
okay.
Corpses, yeah, for
Like,
sure.
that's not.
No,
okay.
it did. Good friend of mine, he was the one that told me about it. Actually, he saw it in the movie in the theater when it first came out, and he told me he took his two young boys.
Oh my god, no!
Two
dude.
young boys with
no.
him, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, they were pretty freaking scared and kind of, a little bit traumatized by it when we left the theater." And like I said, I hadn't seen it yet, so he was like, "You should check it out, man. It's a good movie." And then I watched it. I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he took his kids to that." Like,
all you could think about was how like my friend took his kids to this movie.
Oh my goodness, dude! Like, and they were young. They were probably like 8.
Oh no!
Like, they were pretty young kids.
They're probably Rob Zombie fans though.
So, well, either maybe they grew up to love Rob Zombie, or maybe
That
they
or
grew up
they
to
hate
hate him
him.
because
Yeah,
of that.
that's
Yeah,
true.
for sure.
All right, back on topic. Sorry, I was just touching on the Rob Zombie.
So, what do you think? I mean, and then, man, I feel like there's so many Halloween movies.
There is. Yeah.
It's kind of like Friday the 13th. It's like I feel like it got played out.
So
Because I can't sit here and lie and say that all the Halloween movies are good, because some of them sucked.
They're
Some sucked worse than others, I guess I should say.
But I mean, I think it's a classic though, because like, and I mean the dude refuses to die too, so.
Which I never understood.
I don't know. Like, he had so many injuries and things happen to this guy. I don't understand how he's still living. But anyway, It's a classic, dude. Like, it's one of those classics, like, it sticks with you. And it's like we've talked about in previous episodes, but like, it's the music, it's the vibe he gives, it's the not knowing his expressions and how everything is just very statue-like, essentially. Like, he just goes through the motions and does these things. And overall, it's at random. It's not really planned. It's not drawn out.
He just wants to get to his sister. Like, he just wants to kill his sister. And once again, I think what made Halloween so effective was the fact that he didn't talk. He just took his time.
Yeah.
You know, if you're running from him, he knew he was going to catch up to you eventually.
Yep.
Or he would just sneak up on you when you weren't paying attention. So, I mean, do you prefer the original? I guess this one's kind of complicated because
it is, because I don't know, man. Like, I could go either way on this, to be completely honest.
I know. I was just thinking, like, that might actually be a tie because, like, the original was a classic, dude. It's so good. Jamie Lee Curtis. But then I really like how they, all these years later, have continued to keep the original characters. Jamie Lee Curtis is like an old lady now.
Yep.
And freaking Mike Myers is still trying to get to her. Michael Myers is still trying to kill her.
There's so many memes on this, too. So many memes on this.
Yeah, and but at the same time, I loved Rob Zombie's version, dude. I love how he kind of went back and did like the Michael Myers as a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And kind of like what triggered him to become a killer. And then I loved how he touched on how Michael Myers was in the asylum. If you remember, he would make the like paper mache faces.
That's right. Yes.
And
Yes.
then,
I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh, dude. And once again, that's just Rob Zombie's style, man. He brings that gritty to it and that violence.
I mean, let's be honest. The whole asylum and breaking out.
Oh yeah, dude. When he like took that freaking mop stick and So, because
that's dude. That's a hard choice.
That is.
I'm gonna tie it just because.
That's the hardest one out of this list.
I can't pick. It's not fair to pick either one of those because I like the majority. I like all the movies. Do I dislike certain aspects of it? Maybe, but overall, they're still classics. Yeah,
I have to agree, dude. I don't think I can say that Rob Zombie's remake is better than the original. Yep. The original I felt like was scary, but it wasn't gory.
Yeah.
And then you have Rob Zombie's, who's is gory and then scary.
you get the best of both worlds.
And then the remakes, Once again, I can't sit here and say that all of them were good because there was one that was just about kid costumes, like the season. It was called something of the witch. It had nothing to do with Michael Myers, if you remember. I think it's part 3. Halloween.
I think I remember
3.
what you're talking about. Yeah,
It was about a mask, and when you put it on, it had something to do with a witch. So I was kind of like, okay, what the heck is that? But then I will say the Rob Zombie's Halloween Part 2, the second one he made was freaking weird.
Yeah, no, that one was.
Remember, he kept seeing visions of his mom and a white horse or a unicorn. I don't know what the hell that was all about. Like, and
Come on,
God
man. You know you
dang,
still like it though.
I did. I mean, that scene where he goes into that, I don't know if it was a strip club or like a whorehouse or something, and he takes that girl and he smashes her face into that mirror. Like, over and over, dude. Holy crap.
You remember this so much better than I do, because like a lot of these things I can remember, and the majority of the scenes I can, but...
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you what I did last week. I couldn't tell you what I ate for dinner 4 days ago.
Like,
so
Michael Myers has killed a lot of people, let's be honest. Like,
yeah,
he's killed a lot of people.
Yeah, so that's
a tie, dude. It's a tie.
Yeah,
has to be.
And once again, I don't know if they'll ever kill him.
They're not going to.
This is like Halloween '98.
I think he'll be one of those. Just saying, this is my opinion. I think Michael Myers will be one of those where he gets away eventually, and he's just never seen again.
That's possible. But
I don't think they're gonna allow him to die.
Not if they're making money.
No, they can't. Like, they have to bring back the possibility of he could come back. They have to bring back that But I mean, let's be honest. What's the time span from the first Halloween movie until where we're at now with this?
Oh God!
Because how old would that put Michael Myers? If I'm just saying from a realistic standpoint, like, come on, the guy's pushing age for sure.
Yeah, dude, he was. I mean, he was already a grown man when that movie came out in the '70s, late '70s, or mid '70s. So I mean, it's 2022, dude. So do the math.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
And like eventually he'll just chase people on with a walker.
He's just gonna be that, or he's gonna have a high speed freaking wheelchair. One of the two, dude. Yeah, just getting around however he needs.
Just hopefully, his the charge on his battery of his scooter lasts longer than the
dude, he's got
cardio.
He's got a life alert. We're good.
Yeah, he's just got like.
That's right. He's good.
That's funny. All right, and we will round it out with. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Now this one's crazy, dude, because if you've seen the original Evil Dead, which, okay, once again, when it came out, it was scary. People were scared of that movie. And you watch it now and it's like, okay, it's kind of silly, but scary, okay, there was parts that were kind of scary.
Yep.
And then, holy shit, they come out with this freaking remake of Evil Dead that came out. Let me see if I can find the exact date of this remake for Evil Dead. But, dude, let's just be honest. We watched that movie together at your house. And,
dude, I like the remake.
2013 is when that came out.
I like the remake.
Gory, violent.
Crazy.
Nuts,
yeah.
Pretty insane. Mm-hmm. Nothing to do with Ash with a chainsaw in his hand.
But overall, it kept you on the edge of your seat for the most part.
Yeah.
Decent story. And overall good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like the remake. That's me. Yeah. I think I like it because of the craziness, which usually I'm not that guy. Usually I don't like a lot of crazy. I just like a little bit.
I think I'm going to have to stick with the original on this one, though.
The one movie where he's like, I like the original. The one time.
Yeah. Well, I just appreciated the humor to it. I did. And Army of Darkness, the part 3 of Evil Dead, was just so ridiculous, but I still love it.
It's true.
Sorry, guilty. I loved it. Just the stupid little one-liners that he had. Bruce Campbell. Okay, you want to talk about an actor who is super underrated? Bruce freaking Campbell, man. That dude is so underrated. He just does not get the credit he deserves. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the original on that one, dude. Yeah, we can't get anybody to comment on anything really.
Dude,
like we really need you guys.
It really, you guys.
People will tell me stuff all the time in
Yeah.
person. They'll call me and tell me on the phone, but on our comments on our YouTube channel and also on our Facebook page and our Twitter.
Yep.
It's like people are shy.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So if we can get you guys to let us know what you think. Once again, let us know what you guys want to see. We're always looking for ideas. If there's anything that you guys are interested in or you want to hear us talk about, whatever it may be, we try to stay horror related.
Yep.
But we will talk about anything. We've proven that in other episodes.
For the most part, we will literally talk about almost anything.
We've been all over the place.
And sometimes we do it to ourselves. It doesn't even take somebody else telling us.
Yeah. We go off the deep end a lot.
We just do it our own.
But that's what we like to do is once again, that's what this channel is about. It's about me and Chase just talking about whatever. So if you guys want to get involved, by all means, we want you guys to be involved. Let us know what you want us to talk about. And once again, we do have the call-in feature. So if anybody ever hits me up and is like, hey, dude, I'll call in and I can be like a special guest on our show. Dude, absolutely. We love that. We would love that.
Or if you're just interested in calling in, comment and, link up with us and we'll figure something out. Yeah.
We definitely could use some interaction with you guys. But like I said, we're trying to put out some content.
A lot of it.
It's hard. It's hard now that you're in a different state. It's difficult. So we're trying to figure things out.
It's going to be all right. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be weird if we're just not sitting next to each other and we're talking on FaceTime or something like that.
Got to push out content, man. It's what. Yeah. Hopefully, it's what everybody else wants, is us to push out content.
Yeah. I'd like to get out and do some more like some actually out, like we did at Foxbridge Park and stuff like that.
That was a good time. Foxbridge was a good one. That was fun. It was good.
All right, so that's all the movies I had on my list here. We don't want to make it too long. We don't want people to be asleep. But anyways, let us know if you guys want to chime in and let us know what you think about those remakes. Tell us which ones you prefer, whether the original or the remakes or whatever. Absolutely do that in the comments below, or once again, just tell me in person or call me up like everybody else does.
Yep.
Anyways.
I think that's it, dude.
That it?
That's it. I got nothing else. No, I was trying to think of any parting shots, but I got nothing.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and put a close to this one. So, once again, thank you guys for tuning in for us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll have some... I got it right that time.
I know you did. You did so good that time. You did.
I struggle with that. I'm like,
subscribe is the one you don't get.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe is the one you usually miss.
All right, well, guys, once again, thank you guys for your patience with us, and hopefully we'll have some more content for you guys soon.
We're going to.
Thanks.
Later.
Later.